And welcome to the Part-Time Nerd Podcast with me, your host, Alan. And here we are with Doom Patrol Season number 3, Episode number 7, Bird Patrol. Let's get into it. I know I'm a little late. Life happens, but here I am. Want to make sure I get this one out before episode number 8 coming out here in a couple days. So let's get into it. This episode was, you find out a lot in this episode. This is that episode that really sheds the light on a lot of things that have been going on. Not this season, but happened like before the season. You really get into who Madame Rouge, Laura Demille, is during this episode, as well as you find out, more things are going on with the Doom Patrol with the guys. Trainer, that the thing that was in him, it was a bug. It was a big parasite. He finally coughs that thing up, gets it out of him. Uh, in the meantime, he is Lord of Mill's like, you got to burn that thing. You got to get rid of it. She's like, dude, there's only one thing you can do with a parasite you got from space. And Larry looks at her. He's like, name him. She's like, no, what? No, what? Why is that an option? No, you burn them. You burn it. You get rid of it. He's like, oh, okay. Which he doesn't. He takes it to the woods and leaves it out there, and he's got to go back and give it food and water. And he's got to go back and give it a scarf, and just back and forth, back and forth. Cyborg, he's really dealing with everything, and he's actually decided to go through and have all of his tech removed to get synthetic skin and just become normal. And he's actually in the process of getting that done when the Sisterhood of Dada kind of takes him away before he can actually follow through with it. But he's made that decision. That's what he's going to do. He even talks to Ronnie, and she's like, why would you do that? You've been given this gift, you've been given this ability to fight, for people. Now me and you, we do it's kind of the same thing, but we do it differently. But you can't give up this gift. And he's like, you know what? I'm doing it. Cliff, God, I love Cliff. Dude's a national treasure. I absolutely love Brendan Fraser's Cliff. I think he's great. The episode kind of starts off with him telling Crazy Jane that he sold everything of hers, all of her records, her share workout tapes, which another alter comes up top and is like, you sold them? It was Flip. And she loses it and disappears with him and drops him off at his daughter's house. And he's going through, things over there where he was there watching the grandbaby. His daughter leaves him the card, and he's actually getting ready to use the card for Ginger and the squirrel game. But then she gets back and takes the card. But Cliff ends up taking the card again and buys 15 minutes with Ginger. So something's going to end up happening with that, because you can see next to him that like her purse is all dumped out and he's got the card out and all that. You get to see where all the just what happened with Laura. You're still back in time with Rita. Rita's still back there, and some time has passed since the last time we've seen him. And Laura is just in the process of weaponizing every meta that comes in there, and she's stopped hanging out with the Sisterhood, and they really want her to come back. And in the meantime, Laura's dealing with her higher up saying, you're failing at your job. You've got this group of your friends that you're not using them as weapons. And she's like, well, they're pacifists. They're not made for war. That's not what they're would be good at. He's like, yeah, you're kind of dropping the ball on that. To where then she finally goes through and turns them in. And through the process of turning them in, you see Malcolm dies. They kind of shock him and get the bird and kill the bird that's inside of him that keeps him alive. At which Rita loses it and disappears and goes off. She liquefies, goes down through a hole, and leaves because her and Malcolm, you really get to see the bond that her and Malcolm had in this episode. And then you're going through and there's just so much happening. They're splitting so much, and they're deciding that they're really going to the Sisterhood. They're going to do the internal flagellation. And just teach everybody and show everybody and help make the world a better place. And right as they're getting ready to prep to do this, this is when Laura comes in and turns them all in and weaponizes them all, and essentially turns her back on them. And that's where you find out, why she is such a bad person, why she is who she is. Um, it's really cool to see all this and see everything going on. And also with Crazy Jane, she's going through, and she goes back and she sees Kay, and Kay's been in her room crying for an entire day, and she's like, "What's going on?" And she's like, "Somebody stole my bike." She's like, "No, nobody sold your bike." And Kay's losing it. She's like, "No, someone stole my bike." So Jane goes to try and find out what's going on, and the other alters, they took it and they got rid of it, because they don't want Kay going up top, being well adjusted. They want her sad, depressed, angry, so that she stays down. Because as one of them said, who's looking out for us? You know. So the alters are kind of realizing that maybe Jane's trying to help her heal, and then Kay can go up top and be up top and live her life. And then the other alters aren't needed. And then what happens to them when they're no longer needed? So you've got a lot of that going on. So that's heavy. It's just it's a good episode. It's still crazy. It ends with the fog, with her taking all of the members of the Doom Patrol and taking them to a specific location, and they're essentially acting out the night that Laura betrayed everybody. And Laura's sitting there watching it, and it's jogging her memory, and she's starting to remember things. And it gets all the way down to the one person who comes with a Malcolm mask on, and it's Rita. Rita's back because she's been gone all this time. Well, she just lived through the years, and now she's back, and this is kind of like her little revenge on Laura for killing Malcolm, and she's wanting her to release Malcolm. They turned Malcolm into I it's a weird moth thing. Is kind of I don't know how to explain it. It's something you have to see, but again, it's in true form with the Doom Patrol, with the show. Just crazy creatures that you look at and you're like, what the, like the were asses we had um, earlier. It's like a moth of like his face, um, and they want Laura to let him free, and she doesn't. So they end up letting him out, and he multiplies, and he's flying all over the place. And I guess this is what the internal flagellation is. Um, but then one flies into each member of the Doom Patrol, and they disappear. And you don't know where they're going. You don't know what's happening. That's kind of where it leaves it. As with every episode, it always leaves you on a cliffhanger where you're like, what the just happened? That's the show, a series of what the just happened, or what is that? But it's fun. I love it. I enjoy it. If you haven't watched it and you're checking this video out, check out Doom Patrol. Start with season 1. You're not going to regret it. Cliff is a national treasure, played by Brendan Fraser. Absolutely love it. I'll keep repeating and repeating and repeating it. I know I'm repeating myself, but I love his character. Excited to see what's going to happen on this next episode, to see where things are going, to see where did the Doom Patrol go, what's the next conflict, I don't know. I can't wait, though. I absolutely love this show. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment. If there's anything you want me to watch, go ahead and shoot over an email, parttimenerdpodcast@gmail.com. Until next time, guys, I will talk to you later. Deuces.